Ladies and gentlemen, Wrasslin Court is now in session. We got the custody of Dirty Dom. Is it Liv? Is it Rhea? Who has proper claim? This young man who's already been through one custody battle is now about to be pulled into another. The man in the middle. We will find out tonight. One lawyer against another lawyer, and we will find out who goes home with Dirty Dom. Folks, get in that chat. Be a part of the jury. Let's have a little fun. And welcome to Wrasslin Court. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Wrasslin Court. I am the Honorable KJ White serving as judge tonight. It's going to be a fun one as we got Anthony representing Liv Morgan, that Jezebel, and we got Big Nick defending or representing Miss Rhea Ripley, Mami in the house. Who's going to win? Who has proper custody of Dirty Dominic Mysterio? Is it Mami? Is it baby girl? Do Nuggies beat Huggies? We will find out here tonight. We got lots to get into. We got lots to talk about now. I see this chat filling up. So make sure you get in that chat. We will pull some witnesses out of the chat. Plus, you get to be the jury at the end of the show. So make sure you get in there. Let your opinion be heard. And I will advise the jury that can hear my voice right now. This isn't based on who's prettier. This isn't based on who you like more. This isn't based on anything other than the case before you, what the lawyers lay out. I want an unbiased, impartial, fair jury here tonight. But welcome to the Wrasslin for Life Network. Welcome to Wrasslin Court. Hello, lawyers. How are you?
Hi. Yes, no simps in the courtroom, Your Honor. Please, no simps in the courtroom.
I'm doing good. I am doing good. I am ready to defend Liv Morgan to the death, Game of Thrones style. I'm ready.
You got your chicken nuggets all ready. They're all your Tyson chicken nuggets. Did you get your barbecue sauce, your ketchup? What you got? Your honey mustard?
Ranch dressing.
Right.
Ready to go, folks. Ready to go. Like I said, get in that chat. Give us your 2 cents. We may click on your message. Remember, the super chats are your only way to guarantee that you get clicked on. And at the end of the show, you will be a part of the jury. If you don't know how Wrasslin Court works, each man will present a case. Not your traditional court style. We will mix it up as far as back and forth. We'll get everyone's 2 cents. I will chime in, and we will find out who Dirty Dom really belongs to tonight. But you guys have like rock, paper, scissors, Rochambeau. Who wants to lead the dance on this one? As I'm being a fair and favorable judge to start this.
I think I usually go first when I face off with Nick, so I'm gonna let Nick take the lead this time.
I thought he was going to say win. I thought he was going to say win.
Right. Oh, fair enough. We'll see today. We'll see today, Your Honor. But ladies and gentlemen of the jury, a home is being torn asunder by this Jezebel. The House of Purple, the Judgment Day, this whole family's been destroyed. She thinks she can just come in with chicken nuggets, chicken tendies, a PlayStation 5, spruce up the clubhouse a little bit and just win over everybody. I say nay, Your Honor. I say nay. She was not out there from the very beginning, pulling Dom away from his already terrible father. That's the reason we had this prior custody hearing. Being there, supporting him, getting him away to where we thought, what would be of Dom Mysterio. And now he's out there winning championships. Now he's one of the most over heels in the company. So 100%, Rhea Ripley has definitive custody here. She's been here from the day one. She's been here 10 toes down when this man got locked up. She was right there, right by his side, and was willing to take him back, even with the flirtatious activity that this charlatan has tried to, pass by Dirty Dom. She has still stood by this man. So I think it would be a hard-pressed claim that someone just comes in and tries to get Miss Ripley's sloppy seconds and can claim custody. The prosecution or defense, I don't know which side I'm on the fence here, but I rest, Your Honor.
We're gonna need a stop button, like a growl or something to hold up. That was right on the border. You did well, counsel. We appreciate your opening arguments. We will turn it over to Anthony. I think you set the record though for most insults in an opening statement.
That was the goal.
Anthony, Rhea Ripley. Oh no, Liv Morgan. Thank you for
Liv Morgan. Your Honor, this case is about mistreatment. This case is about how to treat a human being, and it seems as if Rhea Ripley has no idea of how to treat a human being. I'm here today to prove that Liv Morgan is the right standard for Dominic Mysterio because she treats him like a king. She treats him with video games. She treats him with his favorite foods of all times. And she actually treats him with a victory over his father, something Rhea Ripley was never able to do. She might have got him championships, but this past Monday on Raw, he never mentioned those championships. He mentioned him being able to pin his father 1, 2, 3 in the center of the ring. Today, I will prove that Rhea Ripley is a fraud and a monster and the true heel in this storyline. Today is all about Liv Morgan.
Well said, sir. Solid opening statement from Liv Morgan's camp. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, that's what we're basing our court case on here today. Both outstanding arguments. I will lead it to you, Mr. Nick.
I would like to. Can I counter, obviously, the opening statement there?
You're going to counter?
Absolutely. Well, when did Miss Ripley ever request that?
That's what the court case is for, counsel.
Right.
That's where you rebut.
Can I get my point across, Your Honor? I'm just simply asking, bro. When did Miss Ripley ever request that one Dominic Mysterio actually call her mommy?
I didn't mention that though.
But you're talking about mistreatment and everything like that. So when did she put exactly Dom Mysterio down?
You're jumping the shark, counsel. You're jumping the shark. I object.
Fine. I
object and abstain. You're questioning count. You're badgering the witness. All of the above. Nick is fired up and ready to go. I will let you present your some evidence to kind of get there. And there will be definitely time to address your question, if you will.
Fair enough. So then I will find, Your Honor, I will follow the traditional court proceedings. I will present my first piece of evidence here like I said, we've gone from when Dominic Mysterio was out there, we weren't sure whether he was going to be just floundering, should have gone back to NXT, was just withering away, just being in Ray's shadow the whole time. And then he joins the Judgment Day. He goes along with this whole process. And now this is like the second to last image we have of Dom and Rhea, together. Does that look like a man, Your Honor, that's been mistreated, that's, been abused, been misused, what have you?
I think you're using the I licked it, therefore it's mine defense.
That could be potentially brought into this, Your Honor. I will not be above that.
Defending counter counsel, whatever I want to call you, Anthony. What do you have to say about these claims?
To me, Dominic Mysterio in that image looks disgusted that Rhea Ripley licked his face. If we go a little bit further, which I don't have that evidence in, the smile he kind of cracked after was like a smile of disgust. Because he was tired. He was tired of the mistreatment by Rhea Ripley. I rest there because I feel like he was disgusted.
What would you like to cite, though, an example of this mistreatment that you keep claiming, counsel?
Oh, yeah, I can do that. I can do that easily. Mistreatment number one. Liv Morgan provided him chicken tendies, right? Rhea Ripley, I couldn't find that evidence today, but Rhea Ripley talked about him ordering chicken tenders every time they go out to eat. Every time. and she has a problem with it. But Liv Morgan, she didn't have a problem with it. She provided it to her man because she respects him and she treats him like a king.
So we're basing this on chicken tenders now.
Sure
We
will.
were laughing about the licked it and you called it, but now we're resting cases on chicken tenders. I think everything that we've had, that Rhea's done for Dom, like I said, of getting him away from his father, to get him away from when we thought he was better off suited in NXT, to now he's in the Judgment Day, to now he's won a North American Championship, which I can call into evidence right there. The image is a little blurry, council, but 100% he's won championships. He's been, the top heel in the company, some would say, with how the reactions that he gets. That doesn't come from, where he was staying, of just appeasing Dom Mysterio. I don't think chicken tendies, just letting him have what he wants, is where you get to that. I think that's listening to Rhea, who's been there as herself. Clearly she's provided the better counsel for this man's, career.
All right, thank you, counsel. I have to hold you up there. I will point out, and I will give you a chance to answer before Anthony jumps back. But I will this more. I get what you're saying. Wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
But what you didn't really address the idea that she treated him poorly in the process.
He lacked discipline.
All right, fair. Counsel.
I feel like, or I should say, because I don't feel like, I should say that it was mentioned on Monday Night Raw about him beating his father. There was no mention of an NXT North American Championship that she helped him win. All he cared about was beating his father, something she could never do, And in a couple of weeks of Liv Morgan being around Dominic Mysterio, quick pinfall on his father. And she's been with him how long? Rhea Ripley, 2 years, and she couldn't do that. And just to be the protector of Dominic Mysterio, that's how Rhea Ripley presented herself. But Dominic Mysterio is a man and he can protect his own. And Liv Morgan is giving him that opportunity to do that.
Back to you.
So honestly, I think that I'm kind of at a juxtaposition here, because I don't know exactly how to counter that, Your Honor.
You're crashing at the junction.
A little bit.
Well, Anthony, good point. Well played. Do you want to present something new?
Yeah, I'll present something new. Let me get there. I want to start off with this right here. Rhea Ripley turning on Liv Morgan after losing a tag team match. I want to say it was between Naomi and Sasha Banks at that time. Rhea Ripley took her frustrations out on Liv Morgan, and they kind of feuded for a little bit after that, to the point where Rhea Ripley actually injured Liv Morgan and took her out, and she was gone for a number of months. Liv Morgan came back and she started her revenge tour, and she got what she wanted, which was the Women's World Championship. But she also in the process said that she wanted to take everything away from Rhea Ripley, and she has successfully did that from the point of the Judgment Day all the way to taking her man, Dominic Mysterio. What people do not understand is Rhea Ripley is the aggressor in this storyline. Liv Morgan was Rhea Ripley's friend. Rhea Ripley turned on Liv Morgan, and everybody wants to be on Rhea Ripley's side because she's this top star in WWE, but Liv Morgan is the true victim and has been the true victim of this entire story for the past 2 years.
All right, I'll stop you there. I gotta think that's where you're gonna stop anyway. You guys are smoking right now. Big Nick, back to you, and specifically, is she the aggressor? Is there genuine care? Was it control? How did your client treat Mr. Mysterio?
I think that there was obviously genuine care here, Your Honor, as again, you could see multiple moments here to where you see right there in the far corner of Miss Ripley pining over one Dominic Mysterio. Actually, you see that in multiple pictures here. You even see them, doing a whole photo set after one Dom had gotten locked up, etc., etc. So I don't think it was at all this, aggressor, this, combative force that, the co-counsel here is trying to present Miss Ripley as. I think this is a man that simply just got his mind stuck because he, got caught up with some floozy that just offered him some chicken nuggets and a PlayStation 5. And, this hussy thought that she could just, because you were mean to me and revenge tour and all of that she's entitled to this. No. That's not how this works, sweetheart.
You're really collecting the insults at this point. You're piling them up there, counsel.
I'm trying. Going for the high score.
Going for the high score. Is that good? Did I win? But okay, fair enough. I'm gonna go real quick before we get any more evidence. There's a couple here I want to click on from the witnesses. Oh, I lost it. Where was Rhea at WrestleMania 39? Why didn't she help Dom win? Dom was there for Rhea against Raquel.
Good question. I cannot attest to Miss Ripley's whereabouts, but I think maybe she wanted that, Dom wanted a fair fight one-on-one with his father.
Okay. All right. Not bad. How about this? No, that's me. Rhea got Dom out of jail.
Correct.
Facts. Anthony.
No, that's correct. Can't argue that. Can't argue facts.
Fair enough. How about Rhea helped Dom win the NXT North American title twice? One win over his dad isn't enough.
Where were you, MDB, when I was getting all tongue-tied?
I still want to point out that Dominic Mysterio said himself on Monday Night Raw it was the win over his father. Never mentioned the championship.
This man is in a chicken tender, chicken tendy, chicken nugget haze right now. He's just been, his eyes are glazed over from playing college football 25 on PlayStation 5 and eating chicken tenders and everything. He's got too much sodium in his body right now. He doesn't know what he's saying.
He doesn't know what he's saying. It's sodium overload from the Rhea Ripley camp. Very interesting. Very interesting. Big Nick, your turn if you want to kick off a little.
Well, since it was brought up, I mean, we can bring this into evidence as well. Since we want to talk about, how Dom got a win over Ray and everything, but Dom would have still been in Ray's shadow and everything. Would have still been his little plucky sidekick, his little boy that somehow is a foot taller than him. If it wasn't for Rhea, and you still, like we said, have Rhea there at the top, standing behind Dom, waiting to get him out when he's getting arrested for dealing with, again, this deadbeat father, again, and showing up constantly supporting Dom against Ray, and again, helping him break away. Cool, he got a win, but he would have never been there and never been in that position if it wasn't for Rhea.
But also, at the end of the day, it's the win that counts. You can be there the entire time, but she never got him to finish his story. Just like Cody didn't finish his story at WrestleMania 39. He had to wait a whole.
Liv Morgan's the pharaoh of this story then. She helped Cody finish the story just by being there.
Well, here's a question. I mean, in any custody case, as we're trying to figure this out, the child's development is very important, and little dirty Dom seems like he still needs some development. Was Rhea beneficial to the development of Dom? Was he able to be in a good enough place that he matured and she was able to help him grow?
I don't think that that's deniable at this point, Your Honor. Again, like I've said multiple times, we thought that this man should have been wrestling down in NXT instead of being on Monday Night Raw, etc., etc. Now he's out there getting probably the biggest crowd reaction out of anybody on the damn show, next to probably Roman or something like that, or a Cody. And he's still just a North American champion, not, competing for a world title, but he's got the most heat out there. And now he's out there, pulling zingers on Logan Paul, which, by the way, off the record, was hilarious as shit. But I think Dom Mysterio that we see today, before you, would not be Dom Mysterio again without Rhea Ripley by his side.
Absolutely. I can agree to that. But I also want to point out that when Rhea Ripley returned, the first thing Rhea Ripley said that was that Dominic never checked on her while she was away.
So
Meaning
he's a shitty
vice
boyfriend.
versa. Let me finish, Nick. Meaning vice versa, that Rhea didn't check on Dom. Somewhere the relationship faltered.
How do you know that she didn't check on Dom when you still saw Damian Priest that was clearly talking to Rhea about everything that was going on? So I think
Never
it was Rhea
mentioned on
was still
WWE TV.
Why
And
is she talking to Priest but not Dom?
because she's
he
testing this man.
himself-
Still, why aren't you out here, trying to get back at me? You're too busy flirting around with this, I'm not gonna say an insulting, so I'm gonna say blonde woman. That's out there clearly flirting with Dom and everything. She was making sure where his loyalties laid and everything. And still, when she came back, she took this man back. Like we said, the picture that you were so disgusted by before, she was willing to lick this man's face. If she gave up on this man, you were going to do that with somebody you gave up on?
Well, it's kind of funny that you mentioned Priest, because the night Rhea Ripley returned and he was on the phone with Rhea Ripley, Priest decided to hide the fact that she was returning to Dominic Mysterio.
Yeah, because he got caught in all of his transgressions again with this charlatan.
But it also goes back to you saying, was she really checking on Dom? If she was, Damian Priest never relayed that message.
Wait, what? So
it never relayed that message to Dom.
He didn't need to relay that
Priest
message
was
to Dom.
withholding information the entire time.
To Dom, that's fine. I'm talking about of Rhea's checking in and getting the information from Damian. He doesn't have to tell Dom everything. If he's allowed to just let him screw up and get lost in the sauce with the chicken tendies and the PlayStation 5s and all of that. Rhea still knew everything that was going on.
Fair enough.
Now, so you're saying Rhea tested Dom, but Dom failed the test.
Correct.
I'm just wondering who we make responsible for him failing if she set him up. But
I don't think she set him up. I think, you let the man do what he's going to do. I'm not around to guide you anymore, Dom. If you truly need me and everything like that, then you should be good. And then he gets, like I said, lost out there in the sauce.
Right. Powell has a good witness statement here. So, Anthony, I'll let you have that one.
Yeah, this is definitely true. And in the turn of the double turn, I guess you can say, because Dom went from heel to ultimate heel. He made Liv a bigger heel, because Liv really couldn't get over as a heel per se. But in that moment, the fans were booing Liv when she talked. And something that probably has never really happened, and booing her very, very loud. And on top of that, Liv actually, going back to treatment, Liv actually said on multiple occasions, let Daddy Dom talk to the audience. I don't recall Rhea Ripley ever doing that.
Oh, okay.
Can I just sidebar real quick? Because I was just going to say, I think this is the first time we've ever seen someone go from heel to turn more heel to turn babyface all within like 3 weeks and everything like that, with what, Dom was saying at Logan and everything. So just joke there.
Sidebar, everybody. Pretend you didn't hear the evidence for the other team.
Right. But
moving on. Absolutely.
No, completely to counter that, though, I think you could say that the bigger heel reaction for Liv and Dom is because of Rhea. You called out earlier about how Rhea put Liv away and it was her revenge tour and everything like that. So because she, was trying to take something that's so precious and everything from Rhea is why she got the huge reaction. And Dom got the huge reaction again, as we've established, because of his presence around Rhea. So again, I would still hold ground that Rhea's not the aggressor in this, and that she's the one that's actually helping getting everybody over. And again, still should retain custody of one Dominic Mysterio, because she's gotten him to this point thus far.
Well, if she's not the aggressor in this whole story, I want to point out a comment that KJ quickly pointed on about Jey Uso. Wasn't there a point where it was a little flirtatious between Rhea Ripley and Jey Uso? right in front of Dom.
One-sided, Your Honor. One-sided. It was strictly Jey Uso towards Rhea Ripley. We cannot confirm nor deny if it was said reciprocated.
I'll eat it.
We'll go to a Waffle House and discuss it over.
No, very good question. I mean, we're worried about Dominic and his fidelity and behavior, but was Rhea, doing a bit of the same?
I mean, if we are to take her statement into question, the only statement that she did give on the situation was yeet. So I don't know how much we can really gather from that.
Fair enough.
Fair enough.
All right. Who's got the next little piece of evidence for the court?
I'll go. I got one. I got a space.
Go
Could
ahead.
this all just be that Liv Morgan just wants Rhea Ripley for herself?
Let's go.
That this 100% at all does not involve Dominic Mysterio at all. And this is just simply a way to get back with, one Rhea Ripley. That this very much seems, she 100% has made this all about Rhea. It's not even about having Dom around. She's just doing that because she knows it's a dig and a thorn in the side of one Rhea Ripley. And then I feel that this very much, she's become so infatuated with Rhea that now this is just another way to get closer and closer to eventually it's just Rhea and Liv again. Rhea
and Liv as a tag team?
Depends on how you want to go with it, counsel. We'll call it a tag team.
I had to make it clear because I wasn't sure where we
Either way, whatever way works.
Counsel is unable to specify at this time, but we'll allow it.
Could be, but yes, no.
Well, does Liv Morgan really care for Dom? Or is this a part of the revenge? Is he just a pawn in her revenge game?
Thank you, Your Honor.
I think she actually cares about Dominic Mysterio because of two reasons. One, and this is how you win my heart. One is the chicken tenders, and second is letting me play my video games.
That's strong evidence, counsel.
I'm just saying that is how you get to a man's heart, and Liv Morgan did it very, very quickly.
Man is just a simple man. I see. I still think that clearly Rhea has shown the more care for this. And again, I think that this is more of Liv focused solely on the revenge tour, on, like you even said, counsel, taking everything from Rhea. So Rhea's the focus of this. It's not Dom. Dom's just a part of this. Dom is, this is more spiteful, spousal, custody battle, it feels like, of you have Liv and Rhea fighting over it, and Rhea actually cares about Dom while Liv just kind of wants it to have Dom just to get back at Rhea.
I want to point out, and this is great that Nick has this on the background. I want to point out this, and then I also want to point out the other picture right there, right? There was a never point in time where Rhea Ripley and Dominic Mysterio kissed. At any point of the entirety of them being together. This happened within about 3 months.
They weren't.
So now we're going to question public displays of affection.
Say that again.
I was laughed at in a discussion about what you're saying about Rhea and Dom, how they kissed on screen and everything like that. I believe is what you were saying, counsel.
I was saying that they have never kissed on screen, but they have.
And that's what I'm saying. So now we're calling into questions one's personal preference on public displays of affection.
No, I'm counting this into does both of them actually really care about one another? Because if they did, they would have public displays of affection.
So you suck face with everybody you care about, counsel?
Time out, counsel.
That took a left turn.
Bordering if that's your gauge, if that's your litmus test on judging if you care about somebody, so then do you follow the same practices that you preach?
I plead the fifth.
Well, I mean, again, I think counsel is stretching an argument here a little bit for everybody, but Yeah, I think we're more talking about specific relationships opposed to everybody you care about. You know.
Do I need to call into a question again my evidence previously from
Oh.
multiple upon multiple
Mhm.
signs of affection and signs of opining over one Dominic Mysterio, even once he grew that, disgusting caterpillar mustache, Your Honor, as well. So still opining over this man. But yes, I think everyone shows affection in their own different ways. I don't think you can judge care just on swap and spit.
Is there any examples of tenders or nuggies or video games from Rhea's, or was there a necklace? Any? Did we see any keepsakes or anything?
Token of appreciation.
Gestures of love?
Freedom, out of jail, freedom, bail money.
Okay.
How can you put a wager on one man's freedom? We would have seen Dom locked up. He would have still been out there trying not to drop the soap if it wasn't for Rhea.
Okay. Okay. Counsel, do you have anything to add to that before the next question?
I don't.
That stands. All right. Now, in any custody case, very important of the living situation. So my question to both you counsels, who provides a better, safer living situation for Dirty Dom?
Clearly, Rhea, she established the clubhouse. The clubhouse was a thing, and then Liv just kind of took it over. Like, again, this is, you moved in. That doesn't mean that, you built it, you founded it, what have you. You just moved in. Sorry.
I'm going to say Liv Morgan, because Liv Morgan provided entertainment and food to all the members of the Judgment Day, and the only one that didn't want to partake was Damian Priest.
That you're saying you never saw a hummus platter, or that TV was never turned on, that there was no food or beverage ever allowed in that clubhouse?
From what
no TV.
Yeah, there was no TV.
There was just no PlayStation 5.
Well, if she gave them a TV, it was that little box TV that you get when in the early 90s. They got a flat screen from Liv with a whole PlayStation 5 with 2 controllers and a platter of food,
of which she destroyed, Your Honor, when she sat there and thought that Dom was over with her and everything. So clearly we're dealing with an unstable woman. Of the second that she felt rejected from Dom, Ansley was burning in just 2 shirts into a barrel, just literally unsafe. I don't think she had a permit for it either.
She went full left eye.
Right. And then out there just destroying said property that she bought and everything. So clearly, I think, do you want to send someone home with someone that's going to destroy the property the second they get upset, or someone that's never done such activities?
Liv Morgan, no one knows this, but to the masses, Liv Morgan has borderline personality disorder, and she was struggling because she really wanted Dominic Mysterio, and a man that she had been pining on over months and months just basically destroyed her in the middle of the ring. At that point, she had to do something to release her anger.
And that's fine. Again, someone who deals with their own mental anger. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know you were done, counsel.
Now I'm done.
Fine.
Okay, good. I'm glad you figured that you guys did a good job there.
Right.
Back to you.
Well, again, as someone who deals with their own mental illness and everything like that, that's great. I would suggest that they strongly seek therapy and whatever additional, outside services that they may need to properly adjust and deal and get, the best way that they could handle that situation. But that does not exactly mean that they provide the best, home life experience for that person right now, was if that's still clearly up for debate and still could be an issue.
I feel like where Liv and Dom are now, they're in a place where there are no leaders. Everyone is kind of, on their own and on the chill. But every time you saw Dom and Rhea and Damian Priest and the rest of the members of the Judgment Day, they were always on eggshells because Damian was yelling and Rhea Ripley was yelling as well. Like, you want to live in a household where everybody's just yelling at you all the time?
Can I call into evidence, though, real quick, Your Honor, that it was proposed at one point that this new group, now that Damian and Rhea had left still currently, but should have been formerly known Judgment Day, that this group was going to be called Street Trash. That's the level that they were at. Would you want to again send someone home to a group that's called street trash?
I don't think you can use rumor and speculation into your evidence, counsel.
Withdrawn.
Jury, please ignore that statement. It doesn't really exist. Yeah, moving on.
Withdrawn, Your Honor.
All right.
I already took it away.
I guess I want to point out another moment in this rivalry.
We got more.
Liv Morgan, Rhea Ripley, Royal Rumble, where it seemed like Liv Morgan was going to win, but if they were supposed to be friends at one point, Rhea Ripley decided to eliminate Liv Morgan out of the Royal Rumble, and Rhea Ripley went on to main event WrestleMania not main event, but co-main event WrestleMania that year with Charlotte Flair. Another moment in time where Liv Morgan was living in the shadow of Rhea Ripley. Another moment in time where Rhea Ripley took Liv Morgan's moment. Another time where her revenge even grew more and more and more and more hatred developing for Rhea Ripley, which caused this revenge tour where she took everything away, including Dominic Mysterio. And that is why she fought. She fought this hard to get to this place to take control of Judgment Day and to have Dominic Mysterio. She believed in what she wanted, and this was it, and that's why she deserves all the praise and the custody of Dominic Mysterio, because she worked this hard to get it.
But you muted yourself, Your Honor. You're trying to pass judgment, and you muted yourself. Sorry.
I think he just said, "Don't hate the player, hate the game." That's what that all sounded like. But Anthony, off to Nick.
Right, but no, I was going to say, so isn't this still the sport of professional wrestling? Right, correct. We're still competing out here. I'm still, just because we're friends doesn't mean I have to let you win the match because you really like me and we're really cool and we have matching bracelets or anything like that. It's still a sport. It's still a job. It's still a profession. So I'm going to go out there and I'm going to win the match. I'm going to do what's best for me, myself, and I. And at that time, me, myself, and I, and Dom. So again, you're proving that Rhea was a provider for Dominic Mysterio, again, providing all of these opportunities and again, leading by example. I think this is again more of just Liv being infatuated with Rhea and just kind of can't let it go. You called into your own defendant, your own counsel, whatever. Liv Morgan's own sanity, I'll say that earlier. So if she's clearly unstable, who's to say that she's not, again, like I said, just infatuated with Rhea because she lost the Royal Rumble? Okay, Rhea's not supposed to let her win the Royal Rumble. So I think this seems very much more like Liv's just infatuated with Rhea and doing anything she can to get to Rhea.
I don't have a defense to that.
Well played. Okay, well then, any more evidence from either side before we go back to the witnesses?
I do want to point out, and I feel like this will be my last evidence. I do want to point out this moment right here, Liv Morgan winning the Women's World Championship at the King and Queen of the Ring premium live event. I do believe at this point that the relationship with Dominic Mysterio and Liv Morgan was already happening. And Liv Morgan, or I should say Dominic Mysterio in that moment, unbeknownst to him, actually helped Liv Morgan win the women's championship. And he did the exact same thing with the same chair spot at SummerSlam, helping Liv Morgan retain the women's world championship against Rhea Ripley at SummerSlam. So my thought process here is that this was going on behind the scenes well before it came to TV, because in that moment with Becky Lynch and Dominic Mysterio and Liv Morgan, Becky Lynch had told Dominic Mysterio, "I don't want you at ringside. I don't need your help." But he decided to come out anyway. And in response, it helped Liv Morgan become the women's world champion. I believe in that moment, we already knew what side Dominic Mysterio was going to choose when Rhea Ripley returned to the WWE.
So he just got swayed by your client, counsel. That's really all it seems to be. Again, he was just seduced by the flavor of the week instead of staying with the girl who brought you to the dance. You know, that's what he should have done, and that's what needs to happen when we leave here today. Is he needs to go home with the girl who brought him to the dance instead of the girl that just swayed him because she can wear some Daisy Dukes and she's blonde and she cooks chicken nuggets real nice.
Strong argument.
And she treats him like a king, something that Rhea Ripley never did.
That doesn't mean it's the best for this man.
He said it on Raw that it was the best for him, basically.
He's a grown man child. This man cannot speak for himself. We've clearly established this. Otherwise, we would not be on our second custody trial, mind you. Like I said, we're on our second custody trial.
You're right. This is the second time. Anthony, anything to add to that?
No, I have nothing to add to that.
Mr. Nick, any further evidence?
I rest, Your Honor.
I'm gonna take a nap now.
I go and take a nap right here now.
Well, I mean, both. Anything else from you, Anthony? I don't believe so. That was your last.
Yep, that was my last.
All right, let's see if the chat has anything they can add before we kind of go to our closings and our final statements. This is like an Ashton Kutcher thing when he got with Demi Moore. I don't know how that helps anything. So Edge got booted.
Bruce Willis.
Who is Bruce Willis? Fact. Edge got booted out of the Judgment Day. Now Rhea and Damian Priest got the same treatment, and Finn Balor most likely is next in the future. So you think that Judgment Day is going to keep imploding, and Dom's just going to be, another victim of this unstable group?
I 100% think that this has just been, if we send, Dom back with Liv back to the clubhouse, we're just setting him up to a failing system that is bound. No leader sounds like Lord of the Flies to me, Your Honor. Sounds like it's going to just essentially descend into madness, and, God knows what will happen.
I feel like the Judgment Day is going to succeed after this. I feel like the Judgment Day is going to come together as a true family, because if we think about the history of the Judgment Day, there's always been tension between Damian Priest and Finn Balor. Finn Balor, or I should say Damian Priest, last SummerSlam in a way cost Finn Balor the World Heavyweight Championship. So a lot of the things that are happening in the Judgment Day is because of Damian Priest and Rhea Ripley. You got Finn Balor turning on Damian Priest, getting his own revenge and getting his own payback from SummerSlam 2022 or 2023, I should say. And then you got Dominic Mysterio just being mistreated by Rhea Ripley over the past couple of years because she didn't see him as a real man. And that's why he was always calling her mommy. Now, I can say that she never forced him to, but he did it anyway.
There you go. Thank you. You actually finally answered my question from the start of this. But I will say this, though, of the Judgment Day that we had that's now run by, I guess, nobody's got Liv, got Finn, all of that, wouldn't be anywhere near where it is today if it wasn't for Damian Priest, if it wasn't for Rhea Ripley. We saw the first incarnation where it was Finn, Rhea, and now Adam Copeland. And it was already felt like it was on its last legs out the womb. So I think that the Judgment Day being where it is right now is very much thanks in part to Damian and Rhea. And I think you've got a few people that are just focusing on minor inconveniences instead of the greater good. Again, like Liv, because she didn't win the Royal Rumble, and Rhea did, focusing on minor inconveniences and making mountains out of molehills.
I will also point out that, you can say that a lot of times in history of wrestling where someone wouldn't be somewhere without somebody, but you can also point out that in the original incarnation of the Judgment Day that involved Edge and not Edge, but Damian Priest, Rhea Ripley, and the rest of them, it was always power struggle, and it was always dissension. But now there's no dissension, and all that was done by Liv Morgan.
All I'm gonna just say is Lord of the Flies, Your Honor. Lord of the Flies.
All right. Now, folks, I will remind you after this, we will get you to vote on who you think won the case. Again, unbiased, base it on the arguments. As both these men battled it out today. But gentlemen, my last question for both of you, and you can tie this into your closing, is essentially who is best for Dominic Mysterio and why?
I went first. You go first.
Yeah, Anthony. Sorry.
Sure. So I believe that Dominic Mysterio is best for Liv Morgan is because she treats him like a man, and she treats him like the person he is and the person that he should be. In closing argument, I believe that Liv Morgan in the past 4 months has treated him way better than what we have saw in the past couple of years. One thing that I want to point out, and I've said this multiple times, that on this past week's episode of Monday Night Raw, Dominic Mysterio didn't mention a championship that he won. Dominic didn't mention any of that. He mentioned how to win his heart, and how Liv Morgan won his heart was the PlayStation 5, the chicken tenders, and a victory over his father. Liv did that within a matter of months. Rhea Ripley could not do that in two years. This is why Liv Morgan is the best fit for Dominic Mysterio. In closing today, I feel like I have presented the best evidence I can to protect my client and to defend my client. Liv Morgan is what's best for Dominic Mysterio, and we're going to see their relationship blossom over the next couple of months.
I'm glad.
Sorry.
I didn't know you were clapping. I was going to be trying to be quiet for the clapping.
Mr. Nick, it is your turn. Same question. How about her, sir?
I'm glad, though, just real quick. I know the question, everything. I'm glad my counsel really focused so much on how, it meant so much for Dom to get a win over Ray and everything, because he was a deadbeat dad and everything. And that's why we had the first, custody hearing. And now we're back here. And Rhea Ripley's the one that got Dominic Mysterio away from Ray, got him into his own new family, got him established with the Judgment Day, let him find his own voice in the WWE, let him win titles, get over with the crowd, have huge reactions, be one of the top guys in the company, 100%, and has done nothing but provide care and compassion for this man. And now because Liv Morgan just throws around some chicken tenders and everything. She knows what's right and everything. While, again, she was destroying the clubhouse that we're praising her for building and adding to and everything, she turned around and also destroyed it as well because she felt rejected for half a second from this man. So I think this is proven, and I do want to just pull this up one last quick time just to remind everybody of the jury of the amount of affection and opining and so on and so forth of this, the way that Rhea Ripley has been portrayed by the council of being this aggressor and this abuser is the furthest thing from the case, and she has simply just tried to constantly progress this man to his highest potential and looked out for him at every moment that she can. I rest, Your Honor.
All right. Well said. Well said. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, if you can hear my voice right now, the poll is up. We will take your votes. In the meantime, we'll click on a few more comments, see if there's any last little shots either side have before you get your votes in. But we'll give you a couple minutes. Who won the case? Remember, not who your favorite wrestler is. Damien, you can't vote for Liv just because you love her. But ladies and gentlemen, an unbiased, we had a great battle here today between these two counselors, and we'll see what we got. But Dom, I mean, he's the snake in the grass. I think he's getting off the hook very easy with all this. But Dominic Mysterio was a house in WWE. She made it a home. Oh, my bad. Yeah, there you go.
They're still voting, correct?
Yep.
Okay, so I was going to say something, but I'll wait until after the voting's done. and then I'll say it. No, because I realized I missed something, and yeah.
Oh, there you go. There you go. Right now, it's neck and neck, folks. So I'm going to give it a couple more minutes, see if anyone else has got a vote on this before we bring the verdict in.
There are no simps in the courtroom allowed, Your Honor.
Right. Let me see if there's anything else.
Well, I like TJ saying I think Dom and Liv is the next Edge and Lita. I will say I agree with that. Just on outside of this, sidebar of I think that's very much the same kind of vibe.
Right. Anthony wants Gail Kim to bring.
Yeah, you want Robert Irvine to bring.
Voted Liv because of heel heat reasons. There you go, TJ. I'll vote for Pedro for tater tots. Perfect. Well, on that note, let's see what this stops on. Liv Morgan with 58% of the vote ekes it out as ladies and gentlemen, Dom goes home with Liv Morgan. The chicken tenders put her over the top. She wins the case. Anthony, Nick, how do you feel about it?
Right decision.
I think this is indicative of the American judicial system and shows its flaws and its inadequacies. And I think an injustice has been dismayed here before the court, Your Honor.
Neck and neck battle, 58-42 at final count. A good one, could have went either way, but again, go to a man's belly and keep him entertained. You're doing a pretty good job. I suppose.
Is just because everyone that voted wanted chicken tendies and PlayStation 5s as well.
Sure enough, and I love y'all in the chat for that, except MDB 999.
But ladies and gentlemen, that concludes Wrasslin Court for this week. I will remind everybody we are back tomorrow. We are back all week long, every week long. For all your favorite wrestling, we have it all. We got more coming your way, more episodes of Wrasslin Court. If you have an idea for something that should go on trial, hit us up on social media or the Discord. Follow all our links. Any final statements from the gentleman below?
I won. That's it.
Fuck you, bitch. No, I was gonna say good game. I was actually gonna be polite and say good game, my guy. All of that. It was fun. I fucked up and I forgot that to pull it into Liv just wanting Rhea, and that whole angle and everything during my closing statement. No, how you had me in tongue tied, my guy. You know how hard it is to have me tongue tied. This man's been trying to do it for 2 years now.
Staple gun don't do it.
Right. So that's why I was like, good game, and I won. So all right, deuces.
Well, gentlemen, congratulations, Anthony, Nick. Keep swinging, swing away.
The kid from Science, just swing away.
Exactly. Folks, thank you for being here. Come back for more. Be a friend, tell a friend, like, share, subscribe, and we will see you tomorrow. And until next time, court is adjourned.